today we're going to be going through some mind control videos. Tap like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you like the content.
What's the CIA's most disturbing experiment? To me, they had a experiment that they did in Canada, and I am never so many times people are like, "Oh, well, you must know all about this MK Ultra project and names and dates and locations." I care about the techniques and the methods and the protocols and stuff that were a result of MK Ultra. I'm not like, let me go fact check and get everybody's name right and dates. I don't have any of that because it was never important to me. But they did this thing in Canada. They took people coming in for just normal appointments, like I have postpartum depression or I have anxiety, and they would against their will do this thing called psychic driving. Had nothing to do with being psychic. It just meant psychic of the mind. And they would give them massive, prolonged doses of LSD. And in some cases, tape their eyes open like Clockwork Orange and play these videos in front of their face all the time. They thought it was going to like reprogram their brain somehow. But what happened was a lot of the people had to learn how to walk again. They couldn't control their bladder. They had to learn how to control their urine and stuff like that again. Some of them lost 30, 40 years of memories from their life. And these were people who checked into a clinic for like anxiety. And this was funded by MK Ultra, and it was in Canada. And it's so well known and it's so open that even the Canadian government paid the people's families.
Well, this local politician knew that any child who was so abused as to be used in therapy would be suffering from this dissociative identity disorder, which made me a prime candidate or a chosen one for MK mind control. It was so well known that with that kind of compartmentalization, that would leave the subconscious mind open to be easily led. The subconscious mind doesn't have any ability to reason, any ability to consciously comprehend, any ability to question, or to do anything other than exactly what it is told.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting sick of hearing about things like this, and nothing ever gets done. The main reason why nothing ever gets done is because no one's even interested. Everyone's so caught up in their own lives that they don't want to think for themselves. Why is it with these testimonies that there's always a higher power at play? There's always someone orchestrating it, someone of elite stature.
It was to break a person's mind, to create splits, multiple personalities that could be controlled. And my stepfather was in counterintelligence in the Army. We know he was trained in that. I would never say that I was a subject of it by government funding, but what we do know is what he did to me was textbook of what they would do to people. The first memory I have was being tied to a bed. I was about 3.5, and he came in and he had a cat, and he said, "I want you to take the head off this cat." I had been tied to the bed all day, and he says, "If you don't take the head off this cat, I'll cut your head off." And I think that's the first time my brain split. The pressure and the fear of the trauma.
Now, the proper word for this is highly censored on here, so let's just call it MK Vulture. I have no idea why it's censored, because you can literally Google and find CIA declassified documents on it. However, the CIA claimed in 1973 that a lot of documents on these experiments were destroyed. Now, I wonder what type of experiments they were. And if that was over 50 years ago, how much further have they delved into human psyche? Creep on in, on in, on in.
Using Britney Spears triggered like that. They started using that for spies and assassins, because you can't torture somebody out of information that they don't know, because it's not in that altar. If you traumatize a human being, they know exactly the levels to do it at. Then the brain creates an amnesiac barrier around it. And then if you're taught, you're then able to go inside there, program a new person to do anything, to do absolutely anything. And then you can bring them back to their original state. The other altar is not aware of any way of the other altar. A great number of them that can be done.
13 cubed.
That's right. So I think that would be something like 6,000.
2,900 something.
2,000, okay, right. There you go, that's a lot. They started using that for spies and assassins because you can't torture somebody out of information that they don't know because it's not in that altar.
So it means that someone is like a businessman, goes to a country, then they trigger him to switch to another altar.
He could be completely different.
Then he performs some task, then they switch him back.
Most have front lives, okay? So a regular sort of normal front life, and then they do the other things. But they may not even be aware that they're doing them. I think some are, some aren't.
Do you know any of the triggers they use on you to switch?
Not really. I know a couple of words, but it's of no benefit. Yeah. To do it, it has to be done with sound, usually sound, hand movement, and a word. I've seen this one used a lot with a word. I've seen Britney Spears triggered like that, and a number of Joaquin Phoenix triggered like that too. It's very sad.
Don't think of a cat. What's the first thing you think about? It's a cat. It's not an elephant. You're not thinking about an elephant. When I use the word cat, you're thinking about a cat. Because I said, think of a cat, you have no control. I just got your mind to act at my command. You have a picture of a cat in your mind. You can't not think of a cat. Even if I say, don't think of a cat, you have to know what not to think about. You think of a cat. So I can control you just with a word because I know what word with the image is that's going to go in your mind. So that's number one. So there's a whole science behind that where we would learn very specifically what word, when we say it, what is it going to elicit in that person, either as an emotion or a picture.
What the fuck? So the CIA have dropped some documents, and these documents are basically cheat codes. Cheat codes for your brain. Now these cheat codes can apparently cure pain. Just listen to this, right? So if you are in pain, all you have to do is look at the area and in your brain repeat the numbers 55515. That's all you've got to do. People are claiming that this actually works, but there is a little clause. It doesn't work on major illnesses, but it does help with general pain. But there's also more. There is also a cheat code that is supposed to help you remember something that you might have forgot, including life experiences. All you've got to do is close your eyes, use the fingers from your right hand and touch the centre of your forehead. And boom, just like that, you're supposed to remember. And even use these cheat codes to reduce emotional charge, or even to receive a fresh new energy for your total system. I mean, it's an interesting read. I'm going to pop it on my TikTok story for you. If you want to give it a go, feel free. Let me know if it works. It also could just be a placebo. Who knows?
Religion is the greatest form of mind control ever invented. Once you accept a religious story, belief system, and it is unquestionable, this is how it is, you deny yourself vast areas of potential knowledge, awareness, research, investigation, enlightenment, all those areas that you will not go into, because if you do, your religious belief system comes under threat. So what you do instead is you say, if you go into those areas, that's blaspheming. The idea that we are an expression of infinite awareness is blaspheming, because they don't want you going into those areas. They want you in a belief system corral, which they circle the wagons around and tell you that's all you need to know. And if you've got questions and they can't be answered without going into these other areas, then it's because God doesn't want you to know the answers.
Music is actually subliminal mind control that causes you to stray away from your authentic self. Music works in the same way that the halls in casinos work. There are no right angles at casinos. They are all curved so that your brain does not have to make any decisions for its own. That is the same thing that music does when you're listening to it, because you are not thinking your own thoughts. You are thinking the spells that are being cast from the music that you are listening to, and the words that pop into your head are the lyrics versus your own authentic thoughts. If you want to find out who you truly are, who your authentic self is, my recommendation would be, if you're still chiefing on the Chiba, cut it out. I'm not saying indefinitely, but for a 2-week period, cut out all usage and then cut out all music with words and just listen to frequencies and binaural beats and allow your mind to speak its own thoughts. When I did this, it changed my life. It taught me who I truly was because I could listen to my authentic thoughts, and I didn't have an outside source trying to guide my thoughts every second of the day. And when you stop chiefing on the Chiba, your mind actually starts working instead of suppressing everything that you're thinking about. And I found out through my experimentation that that's really what it does. I'm not saying I'm against it. I still be smoking, baby. I'm just saying, if you want to change your life, nip it in the butt for 2 weeks and cut out all music with lyrics. I promise you, you will not come out of it the same. You will learn who your true authentic self is, and you'll be able to hear your true authentic self without being detoured by these spells that these lyricists are casting on you and that you are openly and willingly taking a part of. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the content. If you did, go ahead and drop a like, drop a comment if you're like, oh wow, I never really thought about it as guiding my thoughts away from my true authentic self. That is crazy. And as always, peace.
Don't think of a cat. What's the first thing you think about? It's a cat. It's not an elephant. You're not thinking about an elephant. When I use the word cat, you're thinking about a cat.
It was damning. They were experimenting on American citizens. I hate conspiracy theories that run amok. But you know, a former CIA director is the one who came up with the term conspiracy theory to discredit people by making them sound like crazy people, when in fact, there was such a thing called MK Ultra, Operation Grasshopper, or MK Chickwit. You know, the CIA did crazy, crazy stuff from roughly 1952 to 1975. The Chinese told us in like 1951 that the Russians were using LSD to try to engineer it to be used as a mind control drug. That was disinformation. The truth was the Russians had no LSD program. The Chinese did. So they tried to throw us off the scent by blaming the Russians. We panicked. And by 1952, we started this program called MK Ultra, which began by using LSD experimentally. They started by dosing their own employees without telling them. Several committed suicide. One jumped out of a hotel window.
Dosing them with what?
LSD.
With the hope that...
See if we can control them, see if we can plant memories that didn't actually happen. Then they decided, no, it's not a good idea to dose our own people. Let's just dose strangers out in public. So they went to San Francisco, rented a safe house. They hired prostitutes to go out on the street, pick up Johns, people who hire prostitutes, bring them back to the safe house, dose the Johns with LSD, and just see what happens. But, I mean, these are like serious crimes you're committing against people.
The CIA paid sex workers to lure men to safe houses where agents drugged them and then watched them through one-way mirrors and recorded their behavior.
Exactly.
They tried to erase their personality.
Nice, huh?
The goal was often to break and rebuild the human mind. In 1973, the CIA director ordered mass destruction of the MK Ultra files.
That day, he testified before the Church Committee. The Church Committee specifically told him, do not destroy any documents. He went back that afternoon to the CIA and said, destroy everything.
Why?
Because it was damning. They were experimenting on American citizens. They were experimenting by spreading diseases in American cities. He was fined like $150, and about 15% of the documents were overlooked and survived. We'll never know exactly what happened under MK Ultra.
You know what? They did the Brighter Days memory erasure treatment to me, so I'm having trouble remembering the details. They're foggy because at the Brighter Days clinic they do the memory erasure, you know?
If you could remember, struggle, tell me, give me a date.
You know what? I'll have to go back to the clinic and see if they can restore my memory.
They say it takes years to understand someone, but with dark psychology, it takes less than 2 minutes. 1. The one who talks too much, isn't confident. They're defending themselves with noise. 2. The one who's always joking, hides a storm. Laughter becomes their armor. 3. The one who avoids eye contact, fears being seen. They're not weak, just exposed. 4. The one who dresses to impress, craves validation. Every color they wear is a silent scream. Notice me. 5. The one who speaks slowly and rarely. That's the strategist. They don't react, they calculate. 6. And the one who mirrors your moves isn't your friend yet. They're building a bridge to walk inside your mind. Because people don't say who they are, they leak it. If you want to learn how to read those leaks before they even open their mouth, enter the Dark Influence code. Link in bio before it disappears.
Just how easy is it to physically alter someone's mind from a distance? Let's watch this clip from Dr. Beck, and you'll be shocked.
And what I'm going to do here is something magical. I'm going to pick up here a scripto pencil, and you'll notice when I wave it around this electrometer, this electrostatic voltmeter, not much is happening. I'm going to do something magical to this pencil. I'm going to put a few extra electrons on it, like you did in high school. Now what happens? Number one, when I have charged this piece of plastic by rubbing it through my hair, as you do with a hair comb during the day, we have made a field which you can measure if you have an instrument. Now I'm going to do something else to you. I want the people from the first row back, I guess some of you even a little beyond the video camera are going to feel this. This works double blind, this is not suggestion. We're going to create a 3 to 5 hertz field, as Hamer did at UCLA in 1965, and we're going to ask you how you feel. Now, we're going to produce a 9 hertz wave. A wave is a time-varying field, and I want those of you who are sensitive to tell me what you feel compared to the 3 to 5. Okay? You got it? I see several faces have lit up here. You felt that? Terrific.
One wave made you feel slightly low. I felt the vibration so light.
Yeah.
The second one you did, I felt the energy charge throughout the whole body.
Exactly. If you saw those previous slides, we have replicated here with very simple, do-it-yourself, verifiable and scientific instruments, waves and fields that have profound effect on biological systems. So we can go in and find out what restaurants are modifying your eating habits by giving you an adrenaline reaction, which normally produces fight or flight syndrome. If you pay $20 for a meal, you're not going to fight or run away. You're going to eat faster. If you eat faster, they're going to have more table turnover during a shift. This is being done. We found a number of these locations in Southern California that are doing this to us. Incidentally, they are connected with the family. They're Italian-owned. This technology has leaked down to the public. We hoped it would be a few years before this happened.
The 1980s.
Trying to actively manipulate the mood and brain waves of Homo sapiens. We first tried photic stimulus, flashing lights. We tried evoke potential from sound. We tried a number of things about which we do not talk in public. We finally developed a little device about this size that goes in your shirt pocket. I took it down. Now I'm telling on myself, but I hope the statute of limitations has run out. To a couple of the major tourist attractions in Southern California, where we would have an unlimited number of subjects, free, didn't have to feed laboratory mice. We determined that we could alter the brain patterns of about 35% of the gross population up to a distance of around 20 to 30 feet. Instead of going through the door, they would run into the door jamb. Instead of walking around the trash can, they would kick it over. They'd get lost. As soon as I found that this actually worked, and I used these to determine the waveforms, pulse repetition rates, etc., I destroyed the units because I felt we were doing a highly unethical thing. So I hied myself back to Washington and I said, hey, you guys, we've got a clear and present danger.
Your mind is being altered every day from outside sources. The only question left for you is whether or not you want to take control of it or let it be in the hands of somebody else.